At Leonard, we love entrepreneurs. We do love entrepreneurs who develop solutions that are tackling issues of construction, mobility, energy, real estate industries, issues about productivity, competitiveness, safety, and also sustainability. And we are about to listen to remarkable examples of these solutions. Today, it's not only a pitch session, it's a challenging one because entrepreneurs will pitch their solution in front of an amazing panel of investors, of international investors. They are from France, from Germany, from Spain, from US, and they represent one of the main seed VC investor in construction in the world. And I want to thank them all to be present here in Paris and available for this event. Dear entrepreneurs, when you entered the program 6 months ago, Xavier Huillard, CEO of Vinci, said that you were the future of the construction industry. So let's make him right this afternoon. So good luck for your presentation. And today's Messi will be Guillaume Bazouin. Guillaume is Leonard's head of innovative program. And Guillaume, I think that the floor is yours today. Thank you very much and good luck.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I'm going to have a short introduction because we want to prioritize you being able to talk to the startups and spend time with them. But in a few words, Leonard is pretty recent. It's been less than 5 years that we're around, even less time that we have this amazing location. We've been bragging that we're maybe the largest incubator, accelerator, innovation hub in Europe. We're not sure, but no one has told us otherwise. So if you have information about this, please do tell us. Otherwise, I'll keep lying. The way we were structured within Leonard is in a sort of like two-step approach. The first one is about content creation through long-term projections and sort of like a think tank approach that we do through our foresight team. Some of the people in that team are here today, so I encourage you to have a chat with them. You may also be aware of our work that's more editorial through our newsletter and the deep dives that we do. I know that quite a few investors and startups look into it for references and numbers that they can use. So that's something that we've been doing for a bit now. And then on the program side, we do both internal innovation, internal venture, and external open innovation, external venture. Today is about the seed program. The seed program is a pre-seed stage startup accelerator program that was heavily inspired from Y Combinator in California. And we decided to launch this program because we saw that there was a big gap in France and generally speaking in Europe for early stage companies that focus on construction and infrastructure, energy, mobility, but everything that's linked to infrastructure. And so that step function that we saw a lot of people being able to go from 0 to 1 in the US because of a different sort of network of investors was pretty much absent from the scenery in France. And so our initial motivation was to be the first investors in very early stage, promising Contech, mobility, energy companies. So far, we've done 3 cohorts. There's 20 startups in the portfolio, and we've had about 500 applicants since the beginning. Last year, about half of all these applicants, and we were very happy to see that there were people coming from all over the world, because we opened it up to Europe as a sort of marketing move. But we had people contact us from Singapore, we had people contact us from Japan, from the US, and so on. we had to narrow it down to France, Germany, and Switzerland in terms of origins. And you'll see that we have a very special group that is actually a US company, even though they're German, thanks to Y Combinator. And that's all I say for this program. 200, no, so that's not all I say, sorry. One of the big things that we're looking at, beyond direct ability to get financial returns on our investments, because we are, this is a program that is sponsored, that is at the heart of a large corporate, we care a lot about how it can impact our businesses as well in social or environmental ways. And so it's, like the investors at the front row and other startups, it is pretty hard to calculate these things and be objective about it when you talk about very early stage startups. We're doing our best, but what we've identified is more than half of them have either a social or an environmental impact that we can measure. One additional thing I want to tell you is you've seen me quite a lot if you've been doing this for a few years, many of you have. There's a whole team that's now part of this adventure, specifically for the seed program. Carmen Rouanet, I don't know where she's at, maybe stand up so people can go talk to you. So she's our program manager for this. Tara is our program associate for this, she's over there. She's actually handling everything that's linked to recruitment. And we just hired Valentin. I don't know where you are. Yeah, stand up. So Valentin's our portfolio manager, and he's making sure that our companies don't go bankrupt after we've invested. So today we'll have 8 pitches of startups that we've sort of categorized in 3 different groups. First one is monitoring and managing progress, and it's focused on the job site, really. The second one is about new building processes and ways to work. And the third one is about mobility, being greener and safer. So I talk a lot about construction. What we really care about is not just construction, it's everything that's impacting the world of infrastructure, which is reflective of what Vinci does in the world. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our panel. And the way we're going to do this is I'm just going to introduce you very quickly, and then I'm going to ask you to come over and talk about what you do for 2 or 3 minutes, just so that people have an idea and understand it better. So today we're joined by Darren Bechtel, who's the managing director at Brick and Mortar, Gonzalo Galindo, the head of Cemex Ventures, Mathias Flatin, partner at Axeleo Capital, Konstantinos Matsoukas, investment lead at Proctech One, Margarita Scarcu, senior associate at 2150 Venture, and Mauricio Weiss, the founding partner of Zacua Venture and the newest member of the investment group here. So please, Darren, come over. I have just a few minutes for you to talk about what you do, what you're interested in investing, and that's about it.
Great. Well, thank you for having me. Fun to come back. As I said, Darren Bechtel, Brick and Mortar Ventures. We're San Francisco based, a little bit closer. We're San Francisco based, early stage construction tech venture capital fund. We were the first, which made us the largest, the smallest, the best, the worst. And now we've got a nice community of co-investors and collaborators as construction tech starts to become a sexy investment category. While we're based in San Francisco, we invest globally. Our lifetime portfolio is just over 40 companies now. Got started back in 2012 with my seed investment in PlanGrid, which a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, is an American saying. But we try to repeat that. Early stage for us means typically pre-revenue. We try to leverage the global network of contractors and vendors and suppliers to try to help with getting founders early feedback on their product or go-to-market strategy. and we're regularly some of the first sources of capital for founders. We're rooting for you all.
All right. Thanks, Darren. Can we give a round of applause to Darren for coming all the way? Matthias?
Thank you. Thanks to the team of Leonard to have us today with Auxilia. My name is Matthias Flatin. I'm a partner at Auxilia Capital. I'm 34. I've been VC for nearly 12 years now. I joined Auxilia Capital to launch a new vertical dedicated to PropTech and Contech. Earlier it was PropTech, and now we've seen how Contech has risen in Europe. So we do both, everything related to real estate and these complicated players, complicated to sell technology to them. This is a 40 million euro fund dedicated to pre-seed and seed stage investments. We've invested in 9 companies so far. We want to invest in 20. Like you, I think we are the only industry-focused fund in France. If you know anyone, happy to meet them because we feel a little alone. We have everyone here in Europe now that we know pretty well. That's a good thing, I think, with PropTech and Contech. We are all very international from day one, from seed stage investments. And that's a good thing compared with the rest of the VC that I've known on the past 10 years. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matthias. Senor Galindo.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you for having me today. I'm Gonzalo Galindo from Cemex Ventures. Cemex Ventures is the open innovation arm and venture capital firm from Cemex, which is a heavy building materials company mostly involved in cement, ready mix, and aggregates. We do also invest in early stage companies as well, in startups related to construction, but a little bit different to probably what you might find in a normal venture capital related to Contech. We're mostly interested as well in other important things for construction like decarbonization, circular economy, the future of materials, the future of building processes, supply chain, for example, is one of very heavy for us as well. We also invest in early stage, as I mentioned, but as part of our job, try to help Cemex source innovation as well. We also end up doing joint ventures, collaboration agreements for technology development. We do a couple of incubations as well. We have a couple of revenue generating companies that we created ourselves, which I don't recommend to do if you are doing that in a big corporation. But having said that, they work. And that's basically what we do. We also have a startup competition, which Leonard is also one of our partners. It's been running 5 years in a row. It has been quite successful so far. More than 2,000 startups have participated in those years. And if any of you are in early stage, willing to get to know 10 of the largest corporations doing innovation in the construction world, I truly recommend you to join the competition in www.cemexventures.com, and hopefully you are one of the happy guys at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Konstantinos, you have a bit of an older picture, as you told me about.
Hi, everybody.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, my name is Costa. I'm leading the investment team at PropTech One. The fund is around now for almost 4 years. We started in 2018, and we approached this whole thing very entrepreneurial. So we asked founders what kind of problems they face when starting companies in the PropTech or context scene, and we pretty soon found out that most B2B companies in that domain struggle to basically sell fast. So what we said, instead of having a fund that is writing big checks, we will have a fund that is writing checks with added values. So any investor in PropTech One is from the ecosystem of a building. We have architects, we have asset managers, facility managers, we have banks that purely finance real estate projects, and they basically lend us their knowledge while creating investment hypotheses, but at the same time, they are there for the startups to basically give them the open door to the C-level, to make the intros, and that has worked out really well in the past few years. We've done 14 investments. We usually invest between, I would say, seed and Series A, but we also do pre-seed. We've also done one Series B investment. Yeah, so we're very flexible on that. If we like the team, if we like the vision and where it goes, we're very flexible in investing 0.5 to 2.5 million in initial ticket. And we do investments all over Europe. Not international yet, but all over Europe.
All right, thank you very much. Big round of applause, please. Margarita, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Guillaume. Hi, everyone. Good to be here. I'm an investor at 2150, which is a climate tech fund in Europe specifically focused on urban sustainability. So this includes built environment as well as everything within the supply chain of a city. So we've done deals across sort of green fintech, carbon accounting, biodiversity data, and other types of data management companies as well. My first job was actually with Vinci. I'm a civil engineer by background, although it's a very, very long time ago. So it's great to be here again. What else? We're a fund just shy of 300 million euros. Our sweet spot's probably Series A, but we like to meet companies early, follow the journey, and be helpful as we can along that. And we like to work with other investors as well to come in at that point. Yeah, really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Margarita. Mauricio, your turn. Last member of our panel.
Merci. So we are new kids in the block here. Sakua Ventures just started in March this year. We're three partners, two of us, Juan, who's here as well, and myself, we come from Cemex Ventures. So we started investing in construction technology about 5 years ago when this ecosystem was very, very nascent as well. And as the year passed and we saw the importance of the interactions between the startup and the corporates, everything that was running smoothly and everything that was making huge hurdles for the startups and as well for the corporates. But we understood the key thing of that in terms of helping the startups to really grow and scale, especially on the early days in terms of finding that product market fit. And we also realized about the new market nuances that we're facing today when we saw that construction backlog and construction projects are at all-time highs, so that the backlog is huge and all construction companies are fully booked maybe for this year and even finding trade contractors for the following years. However, they're facing that in an environment with the big geopolitical uncertainties, inflation in terms of building material costs, energy costs, huge labor shortages, and also supply chain disruption, increasing pressure on sustainability and urbanization growth and becoming more challenging to build on these dense areas. So that's why we defined the focus of our fund among three key areas that we see that are going to play a key role in order to keep construction going. And these are productivity, helping the build site to be more efficient and safer, more transparent on their supply chains. Sustainability, of course, reducing the carbon footprint of all the built environment. And the third one is urbanization solutions, so helping these bigger cities to become more livable with better infrastructure, affordable housing, and solutions that really get their communities in the cities that they really want to live. We are three partners, finally. I'm based in Madrid. Vivian, my partner, is based in San Francisco. Juan is partially based here and in Singapore. So we have a very global scope. And yeah, any early stage startup that tackling these issues in the built environment, we're happy to speak with them.
Thank you very much. Okay, so here we begin. The way this is going to go is there's 10 minutes allocated per company. The faster, the more efficient you are in your presentation, the more time for questions. But I'm going to ask our jury, our panel, you only have probably 5 minutes of Q&A. So try to keep your questions short. And on the startup side, try to keep your answers short and to the point so that we don't have just half a question. With that, I would like to welcome Yannick for the first startup, Oculai. Thank you very much, Yannick.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah. Hi, we're Oculai, and we're increasing productivity in the construction industry through automated site intelligence powered by cameras and computer vision. Why do we do what we do? Well, the construction industry has not been able to significantly increase its productivity potential in the last 20 years. And because of that, it's essentially leaving $1 trillion on the table every year. One of the main reasons for that is that there's virtually no information backflow from the construction sites to the construction management. But there is a solution. By applying cameras and computer vision on the construction sites, we can automatically collect this missing information and provide it to the relevant stakeholders within the construction companies. This information includes information about the resource deployment, the construction processes, and the current state of the project, and how there are discrepancies to what has originally been planned. Our product works in 3 easy steps. First, our cameras are installed on a high point on the construction sites, so they can be cranes or masts. We then use the bird's eye view images and extract the information out of it using our intelligent computer vision algorithms. And lastly, we present this information through our Oculai web application. So how does this site intelligence platform look like? We combine the image data from the cameras with important analytics, such as, for example, workforce data and heat maps, process data, and the heart of our product, the automated as-planned, as-built time schedule. Through that, we're able to save site management up to 9 hours per week. We provide them with the upper hand in the case of damages or disputes, and we're able to build the basis for the identification of productivity potential. Through that, we're able to build a 7% savings potential of the total project volume. Even though our company has been around for less than a year, there's already a high demand for Oculai. Right now, we're deployed on 15 active sites from 13 paying customers, including the ranks of Hochtief and Zechbau. And we're already saving them up to 20% of their site manager's time. This is just the beginning. After we completed the first phase of automating data collection, we then shift our focus more towards adding additional value through data science based on the data that we collect. Specifically, that includes schedule predictions and the automated identification of productivity potential. This essentially moves us towards becoming the site intelligence platform, focusing on APIs, benchmarks, and BIM integration. How do we make money on this? We charge a monthly SaaS fee per camera. So for an average site with 4 cameras, this amounts to 1,980 euros a month, leaving us with an attractive margin of 81%. The market potential for this is vast. I mean, you probably all know this coming here, but the construction industry is one of the largest producing industries in the world that is, even with the current challenges, still booming, and is now, after being reluctant for a while, actively looking for digital solutions. So this means that we're addressing a total addressable market of 32 billion euros and a serviceable, obtainable market of 192 million euros at the end of 2030. How do we tackle this market? We've been able to develop a strategy of elaborately targeting the direct decision makers within the construction companies. And through that, we're cutting sales cycles from 5 months to 5 weeks. And by enabling referrals, we're able to multiply this customer base. Of course, in such a market, there is competition. However, static computer vision approaches are the only technology that's able to collect data on progress, processes, and resources fully automated. Within these approaches, Oculai is the only technology that has a holistic approach, providing the overview of the entire site through its unique perspective and process tracking capabilities. Behind Oculai, there's a strong founding team comprised of Konstantin, the technical sales expert, Tim, who has a background in data science and software development, and me, Yannick, with a background in business development and finance. Along with that, we've been able to make some key hires in the last few months in the areas of computer vision and also sales. So within less than a year, we've been able to build and launch our first product. We've been able to create quite a strong customer base. We raised a pre-seed round and built our initial team. And now we're looking to reach the next milestones of completing product development of phase 1 and to grow our market position. And with that, we're seeking 2 million euros for the next 24 months. If you're interested in joining that journey, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
For questions. So, sorry, I need to give you some mics. Who wants to start?
Hi. First of all, thank you. Sounds very, very interesting. I think we spoke in the past.
Yes, we have.
I have one question. So I can imagine on a construction site, there is a lot happening. And if you have a camera somewhere, it detects a lot of stuff. How do you make sure that it detects, first of all, the right stuff? And then if there are so many things that are detected, how to make sure that the right information is then going to the right person in order to basically understand what is happening and then adapt the plan? That is the one question I have.
So first of all, we have like
Yannick?
part of our technology is is a process classifier. So we identify individual processes. So that's both the core processes such as formwork, rebar, and concreting, bricklaying, for example, but it's also supporting processes. We make sure that we filter out the non-relevant processes and deliver data on those core processes. And these we showcase in 2 different spots. So the first is the process overview. So there we have each individual process listed with the start and end time and additional information. And then we also input the information of the processes in the process tracking or in the schedule.
Thank you.
Are you trying to track any interior or underground work?
I think that's a very interesting topic, also something that's very relevant for the future. For now, we are focusing on shell construction because that's a niche that we identified where there's not a lot of players because the traditional or the other technologies, they work a lot better in the interior. So this is the niche that we have identified for us to start with. So that's the focus right now. But it's definitely an option for the future to also look inside or look underground.
Yeah, you mentioned that one of the key things that you're working on is integrations. We're seeing a lot of traction on passive data capturing from many different sources like IoT devices, indoor cameras, sensors in general. What are you working in order to deliver like better, more comprehensive analytics and data? And then what do you think that will be your role in that segment, whether providing information to more integral solutions to software or bringing your information to yours?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, actually. That's sort of relates to the way we designed our product roadmap to be. So the first step is that because right now there's not there's only insular data sources. So we have developed our universal sensor to get the overview, to provide a generalized or a normalized data set. Then we focus more on providing or working with the data, providing added value. And then in the third step, we plan to integrate. So we see ourselves as basically the brain of the construction side that is in a few years. So right now we're focusing on data collection, but then also intaking data from other data sources, such as sensors, such as, for example, BIM or ERP systems, and developing recommendations on how to improve and how to conduct daily business.
Going back a little bit to Constantino's questions, I saw your page where you have a comparison to other functions and other products in the market, but how do you make sure that actually you deliver on the promise? Because if you open your arms too wide, you might not press on the specifics, no? And this is something that you want to capture data to be solving specifics of many different processes. So how are you going to deal with that dichotomy?
I think in general, the niche that we're taking is this. It's the process itself. We could do a lot of different things. There's also aspects doing safety and whatever. So first of all, we want to focus on the process. So that's the issue that we're tackling, the niche that we're in. And within these, we're also focusing largely on the big processes in concreting or in steel concreting. So that's really the focus areas on getting better and better on identifying these. And then the supporting processes we also track, but these will gain importance at a later stage. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you very much. Really good job. Okay, I would like you to give a warm round of applause to Akanthas that is coming, Viviana. Thank you very much. This is yours. Yeah, you go forward this way. And you have 5 minutes.
So, hi everyone, my name is Viviana. I am co-founder and CEO of Akanthas. We use artificial intelligence to reduce the economical and carbon footprint of industrial waste. Every minute, industry produces 60,000 tons of waste. Almost all is recyclable, but half is finishes in landfills, and 80% of transport are overloaded. This is producing a loss of money. Companies pay 10 more times for waste, which is not recycled, and for transport not optimized. And also, we have some misunderstandings between the companies and the collector of the waste. One contract over 5 is a stop or loss. And that is because we have a lack of foresight and control of waste at source. Today, we are not able to analyze and anticipate waste production, like we do, for example, with water, electricity, or fuel. And here's the thing. Waste is a resource and not a constraint for industry. So what we do in Akanthas is to digitalize waste production by using a plug-and-play, intelligent, and completely autonomous sensor, which is taking picture of the waste to see what really matters inside the dumpster. This information is transferred through an artificial intelligence-powered software to increase efficiency based on analysis of the waste and key recommendations. Operational staff can be alerted and track fullness level and contamination to take better decisions. Control and verify waste activity and recycling performance. And finally, optimize and anticipate collection schedule, cost, and use these images to reduce disputes. What Akanthas does for our clients is to reduce waste transport under and overloaded and help to extract cleaner waste to change the negative value to positive value. This translates into things: savings, economical savings, 30% of saving in waste management, and reduction in carbon footprint. For a small company, for example, we are talking about 7 flights reduced each year. That means 8 tons of CO2 avoided. So what we are proposing to you is a global and powerful market. We work today with industries, manufacture and construction, and also with haulers. Both of them have a lot of things to win. Every year in France, we spend 16 billion euros in waste management. 60% is going to industry, and the rest is going to the domestic output. And 1 billion is for smart waste solutions. 80% of the players in the market are focused on the 10% of the production waste, which is municipal waste. And we are focused on the 90% of the source, which is industrial waste. This is where the money is and the big challenge are. So we have a proprietary and unique technological and database, which is focused on industrial waste. So we propose a service, a monthly subscription, which is based on the number of the dumpster. Our recurrent revenue is between 35 to 200 euros per month per dumpster. Our clients don't have CapEx, we own the sensor, and we also charge some optional setup fees. You have here an example of the average spend of the clients in one site. For haulers, is 10 containers at 2,000 euros per month per site. And for a producer, is 4 containers. That means 800 euros per month per site. By the way, a hauler like Veolia have more than 10,000 of dumpsters only in France. So you can imagine the potential. So we launched last year, and we obtained market proof. Now we start to have some traction with big clients like Veolia, SP, WIG, and we have some international projects ongoing. So Akanthas was created by 2 passionate people. I work in the sector, in the waste management, and I saw the problems. And this is the synergy between artificial intelligence and waste management to create a solution that makes sense. And we have an amazing team to get there. So we are working today in waste intelligence. So we want to become a reference in this field, and for that we are scaling, and we also are raising money. But this is only the first step of our long-term vision, which is focused on waste as a resource. So this raising is 1 million in seed round to accelerate the industrialization and commercialization of our solutions. We will use the funds for technical hires, scale, and commercial development to increase by 10 our current revenue. So join us and let's build together a new era of optimized and sustainable waste management. Thank you so much.
Really close to your mouth for the people that are online so they can hear it well.
Hi, thank you, Viviana. That was really interesting. Could you explain in a little bit more detail which part of the process you own? So it's the sensor, the analysis. How do you go from there to the savings? Is that something that you are also doing, or is that your partners?
Yes, of course. So we start by putting on the site this sensor, which take picture. Essentially, to simplify the thing, we take picture of waste. And after, we send this information to the cloud, and we analyze by using our own artificial intelligence model to extract key information, key indicators of performance, and some information essential of waste. And after, we are giving to the client this information through a platform that they can use, that they can follow to follow waste activity, to solve the performance, and also the operational staff. I mean, for example, responsible of production can have some alerts to see what is happening and to react really fast, directly on site to, for example, if there is a contamination, take the waste and put it away before the collection. And that is giving some economies for the site. Today, we have some clients that are using our technology, and this saving is around 30% in the bill of waste management.
Great, thank you.
Hello. Hello. Thanks for this speech. Congratulations. I have a lobby concern. I'm wondering how you can keep Veolia and these guys involved in your business so that you avoid limiting their invoice at the end of the month. How can you work with them? Is there a way that you cooperate rather than taking the food out of their mouth?
If I understand well that you are asking is about the revenue or what we work.
My point is, if you limit the weight, of their containers, you limit their revenue.
For haulers, actually, as I presented before, the thing is that they're losing contracts. So their images is not good for producers like construction sites and industrial sites and everything. So for them, it's kind of build a good relation of transparency and increase the good images for clients. So we saw that some collectors like Veolia, Suez, Paprec that we are working with, they are interested in improve this image.
Okay. And if you don't mind, I had a second question. Thank you.
Yeah.
How efficient is the detection? What's the efficiency rate, and how can you improve it through technology or, I don't know, database?
Yeah. So we have two kinds of detection. The first one is the fullness level, and the second one is the contamination. So we are using different kind of artificial intelligence model. And for fullness level, our precision today is high, I mean more than 90%, and we are increasing the detection of contaminants in the containers. And for that, we work with this database, which is increasing all the time by working with all our clients. So yeah, that our precision is increasing continuously. Yeah.
Thanks.
We have time for one more question.
That's my question already, but since I have the microphone, the data you provide to the customer today is the type of waste that you find in the container, not a recommendation of what to do with it yet.
The two things. We show to the client what is not good. So yeah, clients know that performance of recycling is not good. And after, through the platform, we propose some things to change. For example, having a dumpster for only cardboard, or for plastic, or for different kind of material. So there is key recommendation and analysis of the waste that is producing by a site.
The recommendation is at the site.
Yes.
Not whether if you can recycle that, you should certify it, you should do this. No, it's just, this is recyclable, that's it.
So yes, it's for the site, but of course, if we connect a lot of sites and all this, we have the information of all the sites, we can have a vision more global and give more, how can I say, recommendations better than for only one site. Yeah.
Okay, time. Thank you very much.
After.
So the next pitch is actually going to be online. So Niklas, are you here? It's like the online guy. So machine 26 is coming up with Niklas. So might take a second to load up. I should have jokes ready for those moments.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to go through the backup slides now. Do you have a magic trick?
It only works on 2-year-olds.
Okay. All right. Hi, Niklas. Can you hear us? Okay. Okay. We're gonna try one more time, and then otherwise we'll move to the next pitch and go back to Niklas afterwards? Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next pitch, and we'll bring Niklas back.
Can you hear me as well?
Ah, yes, we can hear you now. It's already awkward when it's your own computer and you're on your own. You're doing this with a group of people. So can you hear us, Niklas, or no? Okay, let's move on and give time for Niklas to find a better connection. So we're going to move on to the next group, which is, you're going faster than you thought, Christian, but it's you. So I'm going to bring Fostr out here. And please give a round of applause to Christian. One sec. We still have some technical stuff to do. So can we go back to the main presentation? Sorry, I'm going fast. Close your eyes. Don't look. Okay, Christian, let's welcome you again. So it's actually a little more fun.
Thank you.
And Christian, you have 5 minutes. You know the drill. I've seen you do it before.
Perfect. So we're going to talk about better productivity, faster workflow. So let's talk about Fostr. At Fostr, we are building a collaborative and productivity platform dedicated to the real estate and construction industry, bringing smart process automation to project managers to help them be more efficient in their daily work. And the story behind Fostr is mine. I'm a project owner. I'm an architect by training. My name is Christian, and I have worked in the industry for almost 7 years. And my daily workflow was this one. I was working simultaneously on 4 construction projects on average, and collaborating with around 20 stakeholders on each project, like architects, engineers, construction companies, and spending around 30 months on each project, targeting 10% of margin. You must certainly know by now that the industry is underperformant. There are 9 construction projects over 10 that are running over budget. 1% of productivity gain in the past 20 years, which puts the industry just behind the agriculture industry, second to last, and 61% of key players that are facing frequent schedule delays. So this underperformance is bringing a lot of problems, and there is this particular problem that we are focusing on with Fostr, the significant delays in decision-making and commitments. And at the origin of this problem, there are these 35%. 35% is the amount of working time per working week that is dedicated to repetitive administrative and financial processes executed with non-adapted software such as Word, Excel, Outlook, a lot of data to cross-reference manually in order to take the right decision. So we need a solution, and the solution is to go from what you see on the right, a messy desktop, to an organized, streamlined workspace dedicated to the real estate and construction industry, and this solution is Fostr. Fostr is a smart process automation platform that brings efficient and intuitive collaboration between all stakeholders on the processes going on site, and bringing especially decision-making metrics that are updated in real time. So 43 of our users have already tested Fostr last year, and now we are we're having discussions with 5 clients to launch a pilot of our alpha version in the upcoming week. Here's the team behind Fostr. I've already introduced myself. I'm the founder and the CEO, bringing the industry expertise to the product and the business. And I present to you Christophe, who's my co-founder and CTO. Christophe is a computer engineer by trade. He specialized in cybersecurity, and he was lately the head of information and product security at Lightspeed in Montreal. We are being advised by Thierry Donadieu, who's a former sales director at SAP and Oracle, and Jean-François Galloin, who's a former director of innovation at ICAD Promotion, a project developer in France, and of course, the whole team at Leonard by Vinci. So for our competition, today project managers in the industry still uses Word, Excel, Outlook, and Dropbox. So this combination is our main competitor, even though we have identified 2 US competitors, Noify and Construfor, that addresses some aspects of the problem we are solving with Fostr. And for our indirect competitors, we have they are offering features, different features for different kind of users on the same market. So talking about the market, it's a very huge market, $10 billion per year market for the construction management SaaS platforms. And our attainable market is a $750 million per year market here in France. So how are we gonna tackle this market? With a bottom-up strategy, focusing at first on freelancers and SMBs with around 80,000 potential leads here in France. And then by 2023, we are going to offer Fostr to corporates such as Vinci. Acquisition channel on a traditional market, we are going to focus mainly on direct sales. That's what we are doing right now with prospection, demos, customers appointments, participation in trade fairs for the marketing side, and quality online content for our digital marketing strategy. Our revenue model is that of a classic SaaS with user subscription coupled with a project token for every active project on Fostr. And our financial performance with the launching in the upcoming weeks, we are targeting 90 users by the end of 2022 and a strong growth until the end of 2024 with 1,300 users and an ARR of approximately 10 million euros. So where are we now at? What are we going to do in the upcoming month? Today we are finalizing the launch of the pilot, and we are raising 500K in pre-seed to accelerate the team expansion with hiring and launching the commercial version of Fostr in Q3 2022, and then focusing on onboarding a first corporate client in 2024. So if you want to join us on our mission to digitalize the construction and real estate industry, to have better productivity, faster workflow with Fostr, I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Thank you for listening.
Be good.
You said the initial customers you're going after are freelancers. That's within real estate and construction, or what type of freelancer do you mean?
So these are mainly project managers that are consultants for bigger companies such as project owners or developers that need external project manager as a consultant. So we put them in the freelance sector category.
What exactly are the key features, and how is Fostr going to be different to general productivity tools that exist?
Yes, so, okay. So here is a mapping of a lot of construction startups. What we are doing, we are on the construction phase and focusing on administrative and financial process management, like Constructor and Notify. And what we are offering today with our first feature, we are focusing on the changes in the work process. It's a really long process, so I'm not gonna go in deep inside the process, but it's a very long process that takes up to 6 weeks to be executed, with 7 files that are exchanged at each stage and 13 emails that are continually exchanged between all the stakeholders on the project. And this is for only one change order. So on a normal and average construction projects, there are 60 change orders, and to do that, we do them manually today, and we need to automate this, and this is what we do with Fostr, with our first feature. And by automating this, we are going to accelerate the productivity.
Thank you.
Question I have is, how do you define these workflows so they are consistent to what the different companies are used to, whether you have one standard workflow that all of them need to follow, or they can adapt it? And then the second one related to this one is, how do you bring all the different players on board?
Sure. So the workflow is usually standard for every key player on the market, at least here in France. There are some specificities for other players around the world, but the workflow is standard, and we are addressing it in a way that it would be very, very simple for us to adapt it to any other companies that would have some different kind of workflow. And how are we going to tell all the stakeholders to come and work within Fostr? Well, we are selling the project owner, the project developer, and he is gonna buy the product, and he will be able to tell all the stakeholders on his project to come and collaborate free with him on the platform. At first, we know that it's going to be difficult for them to come all over again to the platform, so we have implemented a series of emails notifications for them to come and execute the task they have to do in order for the process to be ongoing.
Now, just one small question. So you listed all these indirect competitors like Word and Microsoft Office tools. I have the feeling when talking to construction players that some of them also use them because the recipient, so the one who is actually getting the file, is also using Microsoft Word. So how do you solve the problem that you basically persuade somebody to use Fostr because it's better, and it is better, but all of his participants are not using Fostr and have to adapt his processes?
Sure. So on a project, like I've told before, we are gonna ask all the stakeholders to come and collaborate on Fostr. But if any of the stakeholder would like to continue using Excel sheets, Word documents, they can do that. We have an import-export functionality on Fostr in order for them to be exporting, for example, the file and to be using it outside of Fostr and then to import it again to Fostr. It's a long process to have this transformation in the habits, and we have to do it like any other startup on the market.
Thank you.
Last question. It's very short. Otherwise, that's it. Okay.
Thank you
very much. Good job. Okay. Karim, where are you? Arsenio's next. Please welcome Karim for his presentation. Big round of applause.
Hello.
There you go. A little more. And that's you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karim. I'm a civil engineer for now 10 years. And I'm here to present you Arsenio, a startup which aims for digital and sustainable construction. Many of you may have heard of BIM technology, which is building information modeling. And this technology is, as you can see on the left side, it's a 3D model where you can put data on the project and you can have all the product information of a project. For example, the carbon impact, the cost of a material, everything. This technology exists now for 20 years and it's the future for the construction management. The problem now that we are facing is that the technology is only used this technology, 80% of the company have a poor level of maturity on it. And to achieve the thing that we need to do in order to do the energy transition, we need to train 27,000 people on this technology. That's why we created Arsenio. Arsenio is a bootcamp on digital and sustainable construction aimed for this target. Where we are focusing on passionate profiles like freelance employees, person in professional retraining, and our pedagogy is learning by doing. So we do many exercises on real projects with team collaboration and surrounded by professional interveners. The aim is to master digital and sustainable construction. Our e-learning platform is, we created an e-learning platform which is multilingual, with video courses, frequent updates. You can see all the quiz exercises on this platform, and you have access to professional mentors. There are two ways to follow the trainings. One can be alone online, Arsenio remote, with unlimited access to the platform and with mentoring session with professional. And we have the bootcamps that are many times in the years, which have 20% max team, and we do a group project in collaboration with all these people. So our focus is person in professional retraining. They can be architects, construction managers, and the aim, as I told you, is to train 27,000 people each year in this technology. With Arsenio, we already trained 25 people in 2 months with our bootcamps, which are around 7 to 15 weeks. These people are coming from many associations and also Pôle emploi in France. The prices for Arsenio Remote is around 4,000 euros, and for Arsenio Bootcamp is around 6,500 euros. We have many competitors, classical training organizations like Le Moniteur or REFSA, major construction company who have training organization inside. And we also have some classical and e-learning platforms that are very generic, but our promise is to be AAC specific and with an hands-on digital platform. This is our differentiation with a bootcamp online, online and on-site, industry specific, with our platform, e-learning, with mentoring by professional, and with link with industry that can recruit people from our bootcamps. The market is huge. Only in France, the total available market is around 32 billion euros per year. And if we only focus on architects and project manager, we have around 161 million euros each year. We already have a traction with a product that is evolving. We just won 2 region tenders in Paris and in Hauts-de-Seine, which will help us to do around 20 bootcamps each year. We also won an online tenders to train any engineering company that wants to do BIM, which will help us to have around 600 persons to train each year. And we are opening a new campus near Paris in Est Ensemble. So this is our forecast. For now, we created on July last year. We were doing one bootcamp each 4 months. We are now with 1 bootcamp each 2 months. We are switching to 3 bootcamp each 2 months. And because we have clients, because we have many demands that we need to satisfy, we need to recruit people. We need a seed of around 2 million euros to do at least 4 bootcamp each month on 3 campuses. So this is how we will use the 2 million euros on our 3 campus and also on the R&D of our platform and the material and the marketings. It will allow us to do around 50 bootcamps per year to start scaling. We have a triple impact in terms of digitization. We are reducing the numerical fracture in the construction industry. We have a social impact because we are training people with a French diploma in BIM recognized by French government, French state. We also have link with industry that can recruit people from our bootcamps. And we also have an environmental impact because we are focusing on topics on construction and environmental topics. Sorry. My associate Regina is an architect with 10 years experience. We also have Julien and Sevan in our team. Julien is our lead developer and Sevan is our UX designer. We have some advisors like Sylvain Bredin, the former marketing director of Saint-Gobain, Anaïs Preto, who has founded Live Mentor, an education company, and Ludovic Demière, the HR head of Vinci Construction.
That's it.
And
you're
we
way
have
out of
some
time.
partners. Thank you.
Okay, do you have like what's the last one?
Yeah, we have many partners, cities in France and Leonard.
All right, congratulations. All right, time for questions.
I have 2 questions. The first being, if this profession is so, let's say, rare, will you have problems running a bottleneck with the teachers for your bootcamps?
No, we have many networks of teachers from architects and people in construction industry, some people from Vinci. We have a networks of teachers.
And second question would be like, if you're done with BIM, like if you have taught everybody BIM, what's next?
What next is to use BIM to do the energy transition. We can use it in circular
No. I mean, like, what is next in your program? Like, what kind of program are you selling next?
So this is a big job to do that at first, and it's a global question all around the world. So we need to train all people all around the world on BIM. But we will be able also to do other courses in circular economy, in many other topics in construction industry. We want to be the platform to learn construction online and on-site.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karim. What are some of the key challenges you think you might come across, particularly regarding scaling the business, and how do you plan to overcome those?
So now we have many demands because we just won 2 tenders. So we need to recruit people to be able to satisfy the demand. We have many companies that want to hire some people in BIM, including Vinci. So the challenge is to find other teachers, is to find relevant people to be trained, and also to scale all around the world.
Thanks, Karim. My question is, how are you leveraging technology in order to deliver better courses or to scale these courses around like sharing economy, getting part-time teachers online? Anyone can teach there as long as they upload their own courses. Have you thought of any of this?
Yes, so we have these bootcamps each quarter, or it will be each month. We also have the e-learning platform, which is here. We also have a community of people that have been trained in our bootcamps and can become teachers. They already have 20 years experience in architecture and construction. So we have all this community, the platforms, and it helps us to give a more individual training to all the people, because we begin to know all the profiles of the people that we are training.
Thanks, Karim. I'm here.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. I have a question about scalability. Can you scale faster, like a franchise model or something like that, to be more efficient? Do you have the differentiators, the entry barriers to support that kind of model, or you need to manage all the bootcamps by yourself?
No. For now, we were managing the bootcamp ourselves, but now we have some trainers who are scaling through our platform, because all the courses are in our platform. And if you know, for example, Le Wagon, it's almost the same model. We are scaling through. We will be able to scale through franchise in many parts of the world.
Is it the design firm or the construction firm that is paying for a certain number of heads to go through the program? Or is it the employees that are doing this as a credential that they're trying to earn for themselves?
Yeah, so in France, it's special because it's the states. When you pay tax, you pay for your training. So the money comes from here. We also have some companies that are paying themselves, and some people who want to be trained and have the money to do it, like a CEO of an architecture company that can pay for themselves.
Because when I think of boot camp, it's not really a pass-fail sort of thing, that there's a program that you move through, set schedule, and it's over and done. And if you don't sort of gather the level of proficiency that you need, you likely aren't going to get a job with that skill set. But in the case that you are contracted with a company that is trying to train their employees and someone is perhaps a little slower to learn it, how would you handle situations like that?
So this company will be able to find our courses online. So for example, small companies that have not all the monies like Vinci, they will be able to train their employees like this on many specific topics, like you can see on the screen. They can select what they want on each project.
All right, it's time to thank Karim. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. And I'm welcoming Alex to talk about Aeternum. Yes. Alex, welcome. I'm going to take you to the right place, hopefully. Oh. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Correct. So, hi everyone. Happy to be here. Excited to present you Aeternum. Aeternum is a Swiss startup that is offering sustainable, re-adaptable, and reusable buildings as products for the real estate owners and investors.
Alex, closer. Yeah.
It's not.
That's good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So since the start of the pandemic, office buildings have lost more than a third of their value. In US alone, this translates to more than 500 billions of value lost. And this is due to the fact that the buildings fail to quickly readapt and also cost efficiently readapt. And in order to fulfill the needs of the users and the owners, and they end up being sometimes prematurely demolished. In 80% of the cases, they do not reach their prescribed lifespan of 50 years. Also, due to demolitions, we have lots of waste, as we all saw earlier today. And in Switzerland alone, this is at least 80% of the total mass of waste produced comes from demolitions. Besides that, billions of dollars are lost every year in uncaptured residual value due to demolitions. We want to change that. We want to help cities become more dynamic and reactive to the society's needs, to the inhabitants' needs, by providing buildings that can quickly change, readapt, and even relocate when needed, in order to fulfill the users' and the owners' needs, and also the citizens' needs, without having any negative impact on the environment, the local one, the global one, without producing waste or CO2 emissions. How do we do that? We are developing a real-life application Lego system, a kit of parts that is able to be connected to create the volumes and the shapes of the buildings, without constraining this, without constraining the floor plan layout, nor the position of the columns and the walls, and most importantly, being able to be reused over multiple life cycles. We have a patent application ongoing at the national level in US and Europe as we speak, and we want to offer this Lego system in form of buildings as products that are carbon neutral from the beginning, produce zero waste during the life cycle and at the end of life. And we believe our system is at least twice as fast in the execution than any conventional building solution. We offer unlimited reuse possibilities and readaptations. And by allowing the owner to recapture the value at the end of life by either reusing the components in new developments or selling the components to others or even back to us, the total cost over the whole life cycle, it can be computed to half to what it is right now on the market. Besides that, there is a key point here, the standardization that we are putting in place, and this allows us to manufacture continuously in line without knowing the details of the buildings in which the components will be used, which increases the cost efficiency. We can offer a higher quality of the components and also the quickest time to delivery and execution. Another point is that we want to offer our customer a very similar customer experience as acquiring a brand new car, so he quickly can customize his building according to his needs and wishes on our platform that uses generative design, and then the product gets quickly manufactured and delivered. Besides this, we stick with the customer in the long term to offer him services like optimizing the space use and improving the customer or the user experience, which translates in better returns of his investment. And at the end of life, we also come to him and offer future options on how to recapture the value. So this reflects in our business model. We have an upfront cycle in which we have an upfront transaction or direct transaction. We offer the building as a product on a competitive price tag, at least 20% cheaper than what it is right now on the market. We expect this discount due to the fact that we internalize the design and it will bear no cost basically for us because we automate it. And then we stick with the customer in the long term, and we expect annual recurrent services fees for the services we offer of about 1% of the total value of the building. There is competition, but very few of them are focusing actually on probably the most important point, which is reusability and also the productization of the building. In the next 18 months, we plan to be able to scale the whole manufacturing and production such that we get from the prototype to the first building being delivered as a first pilot project, and we team up with a local company in Switzerland. We have other partners for the development, and we are discussing with probably the most important customer of ours, which is the Swiss Army. They need relocatable buildings for their troops, and there is strategy behind it. They have to move every 5 to 10 years around Switzerland, so they have buildings that are left abandoned in the end. We don't expect much at the beginning in terms of revenue, because we need to scale the production, and we need partners to do it, and we need to scale the development of the system as well. Just 1 second. But we believe that in the year 5 to 10, we are able to scale to the point that we have at least 500 million in revenue. This is a conservative estimation because you can see at the end there is only 160,000 square meters, which there are even buildings that are bigger than this. So we don't expect to be able to do it at scale from the beginning, but we are able to do it later on. This is the team. Me and Carl have founded this startup, and we both have experience in the industry. We are both highly motivated to have a big impact, and we are very confident that we will be able to deliver. And in the end, I have a question for the investors. As you can see, the construction industry is changing. My question for you is: are you ready to invest in the front runners of this change and let your money have a big positive impact, not only in terms of disrupting the construction industry, but also have a big positive impact on the environment? If yes, we look forward to having you on board.
All right.
Thank you.
Are you ready, Gonzalo?
Yeah, sure. Where to start?
Okay.
Which question do you want? 0, 100? Okay. No.
All of them.
What part of the whole value chain of this process will you execute?
At the beginning, the design, and we partner with the manufacturing, but then later on, we plan to vertically integrate the whole value chain and de-risk it, especially the design phase. It's very risky.
You say eventually, you mean 2 years, 5 years, 10 years?
So design will be in 2 years, manufacturing probably 5 years. We will be able to manufacture at scale all the components, and then at 10 years we'll be able.
That means you will manufacture just in Switzerland, or how are you gonna?
In bigger markets, we see Europe as a market. We'll have a manufacturing facility in Central Europe to be able to deliver everywhere, and then North American markets, and also Asian market, Japanese market as well. But we focus on Europe first, and then to scale into the North American market.
Somebody else, or I continue?
In the design process, will you also be handling the permit process?
Yes. There is a big risk there, but we have a very potent leverage arm through sustainability aspects. The fact that we are sustainable, we are reusable. The buildings can be regarded by the urban planners not as forever, but as temporary buildings, because they can be relocated or removed quickly in order to change the landscape of a city. So they are incentivized as well to accept such buildings quicker and without a big of a hassle.
Is there precedent for that, or is it more what they should be doing?
There is a bit of precedent, especially here in Europe. They are more open to sustainable solutions, definitely. And also there are laws, especially in Switzerland, where temporary buildings have a lower, like a lower level or entry level, or it's easier to build something temporary than to build something considered forever.
Hi, we've been watching a lot of companies that are trying to get into this offsite construction, especially covering the end-to-end of the value chain, and they're seeing a lot of complications into kind of getting everyone on board, the developer, and then they having to do the design, and then all the kit of parts. How are you? My question is, how are you positioning the fact that you're doing the reusability of the products? to see that as a value added and not as another constraint or another thing they need to think of in order to get on board on these type of projects?
What do you mean they?
I mean that even though everyone sees a very clear value added in doing the projects in an industrialized way, there's still a lot of constraints that need to be solved or challenges that need to be solved. So the developer really goes and see, from now on, I'm doing 80% of my projects in an industrialized way, right? So there are many constraints that we're seeing today. So the fact of adding one more thing of, hey, now you're going to be able to reuse the components, but in order to do that, I would assume that the design needs to go through particular phases and the kit-off parts, they need to comply with certain specifications. Would that be another challenge for the developer to get on board on these projects, or they will see this as a value-added thing? And if so, how are you positioning that?
So there is a definitely added value thing for the customer. So the customer will have financial incentives to do it. So then the developer has to do it because it's in the benefit of the customer. Even though it's a challenge, definitely there is a challenge. It's a challenge to collaborate with others. That's why we plan to vertically integrate this, to have it on our side. And by providing a product, we provide transparency and accountability, because right now in a construction project, there are so many players and you cannot pinpoint who is responsible for the CO2 emissions right now. Who is responsible for the waste in a building? Is it the owner? Is it the architect? Is it the material manufacturer? So we want to productize this, to offer the building as a product, to be accountable for it, for the CO2 emissions, for the waste, and to have a clear positive impact.
Sorry, do you have a question? No, if you wish.
Thank you. I guess following on from some of the questions, are you focusing on interior and or exterior? And same question for new build versus retrofit, because I think that will likely have an impact on the where you choose to kind of focus.
Exactly. Yeah. So we focus on new buildings, mainly residential and office buildings. Retrofitting an old building, it's what it is right now, a hot topic, but it doesn't work, or you cannot make it reusable in the future. You have to tear it down somehow. You have to cut. There are structural constraints and limitations. I'm a civil engineer, by the way, like you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Whoa, don't forget. Okay, Lionel, it's your turn. It's time to talk about Oke Charge. Woo!
Thanks, Guillaume. Perfect, it's working well. Hello, everyone. There is people. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I'm Lionel, Oke Charge co-founder. Long story short, we bought our first electric car in 2016. It was a second-hand one. And the day we pick it up, nearly half an hour after driving it on the highway, we faced the first story of this charging story. We had to look for nearly 1 hour to find the right place to charge. We didn't find it. We had to, the few we found, we didn't have the right payment system. So it ended up we slept at an hotel to charge the day after at the mall just behind. And story like that with EV vehicle, there is a lot of story like that. In 2013, we need 5 million extra point of charge. And you know, nearly 100% of that can be some long duration one, some slow charge one. Why? Because 60% of the daily need for electric vehicle user can be served by a regular electric plug. So we decided to create Oke Charge. Oke Charge is a charging services, simple, affordable, open to all for any kind of vehicle. Who are our clients? So we have two kinds of clients. The first one, the riders. We call them the riders. It's EV user, people who are using motorbike, scooter, bicycle, cars, who need to charge as often as possible. So for them, we create an application, a free application, where they can locate the available point of charge, the prices, get the prices, and also get in touch with the host, the people who's going to share. So host is the second part of the client. It can be property owner, co-owner, restaurant, local store, hotel, who want to share their electricity into public. So for them, we'll create a small device. This is something like that you connect directly on the actual infrastructure of your building. And from that, you create an open, a public point of charge. It's safe, you can monetize it, and you can control it. So safe, because there is no electricity at the end. It's from the public side, so we have to pay attention. Kids can put fingers in, nothing will happen until you unlock it. You unlock it with the smartphone. You can monetize it. The host is placing the price they want for the sharing of electricity. And last but not least, you can remotely control it. So that means you can open or close it as often as possible, and you get data information from the function. Are we getting money? It's simple. We have two parts of the money. So one is the sales from the hardware. We use that to open and to create our network. And the second one will be the transaction. This is the most important for us. Later, it will be the main stream of revenue for us. It's working like that. As an example, Clara, she's connecting for 8 hours on a regular plug. She's going to pay €8. From our side, we're going to take 20% of it, and the host will get €6.50. With this money, they're going to pay back their electricity, and they can refund their investment. So we make a simulation as a references for 2 weeks charge. You can refund your investment in 5 to 6 months. From the private side, we are unique because we are universal. So we're talking to all the mobility. We're also focusing on the slow charge, and we don't need any dedicated electric infrastructure to open the network. From the public side, we are complementary to the actual infrastructure, and we are 20% cheaper than actual the point of charge. We done test for almost a year, and since late February, beginning of March, we officially launch our product by focusing mainly on direct sales with an attention on the white area, so where there is no connection, and also on the touristic part. We also set up some partnership for distribution. Of course, we need some cash to accelerate and duplicate what we already done. So we need around €1,200,000 global to get people in, and to help us to grow. So we are a team of 3, 2 co-founders and 1 partner. Marc Bonny, the technical guru, which is in charge of the hardware and the software development. I, designer, in charge of the branding, marketing, and communication. And Aymar de la Métrie, engineer also, who's helping us with the finance, the strategy, and later on, the industrial development. So you understand, we have a team, we have a deep market to tackle. We have a unique position on the market. We can open any kind of electric device. Please join us to build a universal and open energy network. Thanks a lot.
Hello.
Hello.
One question about the sales cycles. To put a plug on the front of a building, it requires authorizations, maybe general meetings of the owners. How does it work? How long does it take?
Now we're working on the B2B. So for the B2B, for local store, we don't face this kind of issue. But of course, for co-owner, they will need something. They will need the authorization. On the other side, when you are co-owner, it's really difficult to implement a new electric installation to charge a vehicle. You need a lot of infrastructure. So this is a fast solution for them.
So how long?
How long? But it's for what? For the B2B, as an example, it's ready to sell. So we make it, and they take nearly one month, 2 months by setting up. It's just a matter of time. But it's really, you connect directly, so it's already exists. It's just a single electrician who can, you don't really need a specific and dedicated electrician for vehicle. You can use any kind of electrician to plug and if it's a brand new line, electric line, it's a single electrician, a normal one, we're going to say, to connect and to put it outside. So it's not a long time of handling and work. It's half a day, technically speaking.
Follow on to that question. Are there any grid and/or regulatory considerations, particularly as you think about scaling possibly beyond France?
We test for 1 year because we were waiting also for an official letter of our business from the French government that we are allowed to do this kind of companies, because we are between the private and the public side, and we have an official letter from the French government, from the French ministry, that this is a part of the possibility. It was the question?
And there's no implications with regards to managing the grid, electricity supply, demand. You don't need to take any of that into account.
No, because we are slow charge. So it's like okay. Building water. I don't know the English word for it. It's like cooking. The same energy that you need. So there is no specific need. So that's why we can go really fast.
Is there any liability around having an exterior charger and a cable just running across the sidewalk?
Of course, that can be a problem. That's clear. So it's not our problem. In a way, it's not our problem. This because we just supply a connection between two people, two community. But of course, we try to advise people. All the setup we done nearly 50 setup already in 2-3 months. We don't have this kind of troubles because we use the B2B. We tackle the B2B market, and the B2B market, they are parking spots. And it's perfect for us to put the plug. But of course, we have to advise our customer that pay attention. The handbag can fall down with a cable on the road. Of course, that's clear. But there is solution from that. But it's for the moment we're not taking care about that. It's not our work. Otherwise, it's hardware, and there is a lot of development to do.
When you're setting up the prices, are you considering the different prices across the different times of electricity, the cost of electricity?
The host is placing the prices, so that means he can change the price when he wants. So he's just handling it. For us, we're just taking fees on the transaction. So that means if he's going to sell it for €1, we're going to take 20% of that. If he's going to sell for 1.5, but this price is handling it, is managing it, the host itself.
Yeah, but my question was like, I don't know, 8 a.m. the cost of per kilowatt could be X, and then at 10 a.m. it could be X plus 2, and then at 1 p.m. X plus 4. So are you accounting for that?
We're not involved. We're not involved inside that. It's the host is taking because when you pay by time, not by kilowatt. Okay, so the host is decided to say, okay, you're going to pay €1, €1.50 for 1 hour, and that's it. There is no level like that. Later on, of course, when we tackle the real infrastructure for the super fast charge, there will be this issue. But there it's a slow charge, so you know nearly the maximum charge you can get from one plug. It's quite always the same.
I have a very simple question. So I saw that you basically need this barcode in order to scan it and to sign up, right? In Berlin, you have everywhere these scooters where you also sign up with barcodes, and they face, I think, a lot of troubles with vandalism so that people cannot actually sign up because the barcode is not there. Have you thought about that? I mean, that is nothing to do with the whole
Of course, but the idea is to exchange with the community. So we have direct message with the host. So you can, if there is a problem, the riders, the user can directly send a message to the host and say, hey guys, I have a problem there. Can you fix something? And there is SAV, of course. So as soon as we know the number of the point, we can help.
Okay.
Okay, that's about it for time. Thank you very much, Leonard.
Thanks.
Good job. That's right. And now we're welcoming both of you. Okay, great. Well, welcome our almost last startup, one to go. And please come on in and please welcome them. All right. Auxilia, we're moving to the world of airports and security.
Hello, everybody. We are Auxilia, so a startup that has been working for 1 year and a half now. And we produce an artificial intelligence to simplify security checks. I think you maybe have noticed articles like this that talk about the chaos that has been going on in some airports when you are missing planes because there are no more workforce to hand your handbag and security checks. And this problem comes from a shortage of employees today, but from a more structural problem, which is that security checks are inefficient. First of all, we don't detect up to 95% of the threats that we need to detect. So this is a very critical problem for security checks that we do just for these reasons. And also, these security checks reduce the turnover of the institution, the company that have to apply them. So in the airport field, for instance, there is a loss of 45% of revenue from the duty-free, which is the second most important revenue for the airport, if the time spent at the security check is too long.
So to tackle this problem, we have developed a small device, a small edge device that quickly analyzes images of X-ray devices. So this device is compatible with any kind of X-ray machine and can analyze pretty much in real time images. We have trained our models with cutting-edge artificial intelligence detection models, and we have improved them with 3D modeling and tomography algorithms. Of course, the advantages are that the algorithm is very efficient. It detects almost every time the threat that it needs to detect, and that it's very quick, under a second. So this would also accelerate flows of passengers, making the airports gain more money as they will spend more time in duty-free zones.
And so for the team, I am Greta Zibetti. I'm the CEO of Auxilia. Just for the background, I did Sciences Po Paris and then a master in entrepreneurship. And before doing Auxilia, I worked in consulting and at the direction of the Opera of Paris. And I have the chance to work with Louis.
Yeah, so I worked, so I studied in telecom and École Normale Supérieure. I did a Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence. And I also worked at IDEMIA, which is a leader in facial recognition and algorithms. We also have recruited a senior developer in CDI that's working for us full time, and we have a team of 3 interns. We also are based in Station F.
And we have just finished in January. We finished a round of pre-seed with the participation of Vinci as well and the BPI and several business angels. So we have 500K for this round. And this has allowed us to have contract with Vinci's airport as the Lyon airport and also museums. So Musée du Louvre, Musée d'Orsay and the Château de Versailles. And in fact, our solution is meant for sensitive sites as state building, airports, prisons, Olympic Games, but also for international trade. So this is more for checking illegal trafficking. And so it's about parcel and freight more generally. And to tackle this market, we are now doing our MVP sales with the clients that I mentioned before. Then we will do the selling of our final product, thanks to the feedback from the field. And finally, we will go through to the international trade market. So today, we have finalized our product, also with our partnership with the French Civil Aviation. So we're doing our MVP sales, as I said, and finally, we will leverage the airport in their network constructions.
We wish to sell our products as a service. So there would be a price of 10,000 euros per year and per machine, which would allow us to gain 2 million only for equipping every machine in the Charles de Gaulle airport, for example. So our solution is different from every one that's available in the markets, because we're the only one to detect more than 10 classes of objects, and we do image generation from 3D data, which to our knowledge are the only one to do.
And so finally, we are preparing our seed round for starting in October, where we want to raise 2 million to improve our product, increase our team, and especially focus on the developing of our capacity to create X-ray images, because that's what differentiates us from our competitors. Thank you very much.
All right.
Does that mean that we will wait even longer at airports? Because if 95% is undetected and you detect it almost 100%, we will have to wait longer. But my question is actually, who takes up the risk if you don't detect something? So if, I don't know, a bomb is going through and you're like, oh, we missed that.
Okay. So for now, we are branding our product as detection help. Same as for example, in medicine, when you help the doctors decide if there's a broken bone or not, we're just only raising awareness to certain zones. And in fact, we're not changing any of the display for the operator unless there's an alarm, then we show like a notification, but nothing changes for the safety operators. So it's only supposed to be a help. So it's still only the responsibility of the safety operators.
And for the time, our goal is to reduce unnecessary searches, because today the operators don't have any decision-making tool to help analyze the image. So a lot of time when they have a doubt because the image is complex, they just search it, and this causes like more flows production, and it's very time consuming and not very nice for the person who has his bag searched. And so the idea is to take out this time and also reduce the time that they spend analyzing one image, and on the more long run to have actually the operator in another room, which is something, is a trend that is actually being developed in the airport, so that they can analyze more images at the one time, and our solution would even more help this trend.
Will I be able to keep my laptop inside my bag? Now, the real question here is, I understood that you're selling machines, right? So this is not a software that can enhance current machines. You need to replace the entire machine.
Yeah, exactly. So we based our algorithm on already existing systems. So it's just a brick, an add-on, pretty much, that's being put on a machine. So for 2D scanners, you're still forced to put out your laptop. Only 3D scanners are certified for, like, you're not obliged to take out your laptop, which is due to like explosive detection specifically.
But sorry, your solution, it's, I don't know if I understood your answer. It's a completely new machine. It's not a software that enhance the current capabilities of the existing machines.
Yeah, so yeah, it's an edge device, so that does the analysis, but it's like a small computing device, an edge computing device.
So no, we didn't change the machine at all. We stay on the same X-ray machine, and we just make them more productive and more safe. And
thank you very much. If this works, please bring it to Heathrow. 2 questions. The first, who are the key decision makers when it comes to actually adopting this technology? And then the second, to the question and answer before around the fact that actually the operator is still looking at the screen, they just have better tools. Based on the trials you've done, does it actually change their behavior? Because they're still responsible ultimately.
We're still testing, so we don't have the answer yet. We would have to see with the DGAC and the airports the feedback they have. But surely this is our end game, our goal. I don't know.
Mainly, the idea is that their performance is so low that even if they are not concentrated anymore as they were before because they wait for the notification of an alarm, it's like the operator, like the airports or our clients prefer to have constant artificial intelligence that has always a detection of 98%, and maybe operators that are less attentive than an operator that sometimes detects something and sometimes doesn't. In some airport, like Lyon airport, they started tracking the performance of good and bad operators and try to put the good ones when there are too many clients. So they really don't trust them as much. And so for them, for what we heard, it's better to have a constant artificial intelligence on the back, even if it means less attention from the operator. And for the final decision for the client and the process of buying the solution, we usually talk with the general director and the safety director when it comes to airports, because it's first of all a safety issue, but then it is also an economic issue because, as we said, it increases the time at the duty free. And for the other sectors like museums, we usually talk to the director and then they decide and they say, innovation, let's go.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we're moving to our last pitch, which is Nicholas, which you all know from his Frozen video earlier. You had a good look at his face. He's actually recorded a video because he still can't connect. So his video going to come on, and some other people of the Machine 26 team are here. So I'm hoping they'll be able to answer some of the questions. I think we can launch the video. And for tradition's sake, we can clap as well.
Marketplace that helps construction machine owners to sell their machines without any effort. To give you some insights on the problem that we are addressing, I've brought an example. This construction machine shown here is a code recycler that we sold for the Vichy subsidiary in France during the Leonard program, actually last week. Our customers own a lot of this kind of machinery and equipment, and after several years of usage, the reliability of the machine gets worse, maintenance becomes expensive, or out of other reasons, they want to sell it. We have worked in this industry for many years and experienced that the machine owners often just sell to a local contact and do not get the best deal. This means they lose a lot of money because local buyers do not provide the best price. Alternatively, they can publish the machine on a listing site, but this involves a lot of effort and a long time because often the buyers still need to come for visits and want to negotiate a lot. Another way are auctions, but these involve high price risk, high fees, and unnecessary logistics. On the other hand, especially for international buyers, there are still a lot of difficulties to find the right machines because buyers often don't have the access to the relevant offerings. And also, if you buy from an unknown source, a machine of a value of more than 100,000 euros, without having all the relevant information on the condition, there's a lot of risk involved. Alternatively, the buyers have to take long trips just to visit a machine and start the negotiation. As a solution to this, we have developed a marketplace with an inspection app. On the selling side, we are addressing construction companies. Their technical staff use our inspection app, and they are enabled to make a professional condition report of the machine. This includes a step-by-step process on which pictures to take, entering the relevant information and providing required information on condition, including any malfunctions or defects. On the buying side, we are opening a new and safe sourcing channel for a network of professional buyers. Based on the comprehensive picture documentation and the transparency on the condition, all machines are sold fully digital. For both sides, this reduces the effort of the sale, and the sellers now receive the best prices from our network of professional buyers and have a compliant sell-off process. We're the first company that brings an inspection app to the workshop of the construction companies and the mechanics. They are so positive about the way the app works and all the time savings that we have added several features for further use cases. These are condition reports for yearly safety checks, machine handovers from yard to job sites, and more. Through this hack, all machine data is already in the system before a sell-off. This also helps us to keep the users engaged and opens up further revenue potential, even when they're not selling off machines. Since launch of our product, we already had some great success. Our GMV in the last 12 months has been more than 1.5 million euros. Large industry players use our solution, and we are currently in pilots with 7 of the 30 largest German construction companies. For example, for Eurovia Germany, we are becoming the standard solution to sell off all used machines. During the Leonard program, we did the first sell-offs in France with great success, and we proved that it works well. Now we're on the way to become the standard for the whole Vinci organization. The market is huge. Globally, over 2 million machines change hands every year, which represents a 90 billion euro market opportunity. And machine trading is still very analog, and there's a huge potential for new digital solutions in this field. Our team consists of Steffen, Christian, and myself. Steffen and I, we met at an international construction OEM where we led projects regarding used equipment sales. And Christian is our CTO. He learned coding during school and started several businesses before. We combined several years of industry expertise with the required IT competence. We are Machine 26, and we are becoming...
Okay, thank you. It's your turn. So I know your voice is down, so you're gonna have to take it really easy.
Yeah, hello everybody from my side.
That's why the pitch is.
My name is Steffen, and I'm one of the co-founders of Machine 26. First of all, sorry for the technical problems. I would have loved to do the pitch in person today, but my doctor told me to not speak loudly, and I usually tend to speak loud on stage.
Okay, so
yeah.
Zip it.
Hi, how are you doing? Can you walk us through a little bit more about this inspection process that you do? What differentiates you?
Yeah, exactly. We're using technology in order to make inspection independent from the person who is doing the inspection, which is quite important because not always you have a third party that can go to the machine and inspect the machine. So the buyer needs to know what's the condition of the machine, and we use technology in order to make this inspection independent from the person who is doing it. So at the moment, for example, Eurovia Mechanics, for example, they are doing the inspection, and we guide them through a process. So depending on the type of a machine, certain pictures are requested, certain information is requested, and of course, we will improve that using technology from time to time and based on data. So, for example, for certain models, you can say, okay, this Volvo usually has a certain damage at in a certain age, and therefore you can ask for specific questions, which is really important. Same is true for image recognition or damage recognition based on images.
Bring the mic up here.
Oh, sorry.
Keep it.
Yeah, sorry. But you can understand me.
Yeah.
Okay.
They talked briefly about some of the fleet management like tools. Is the routine maintenance and service record part of that? And is that is that shared with the potential buyers at the time of bidding?
Very good point. I mean, for the buyers, of course, it's interesting to know something about the machines and to know as much as possible about the machines. Actually, we haven't too many fleet management functions yet. This is something that was requested by our customers. They were using the inspection app, and they told us, I have a lot of other use cases to use it. And I think fleet management is potential for us. For the moment, our priority is the sell-off, the reselling. but we can add fleet management functions in future because the app is able to do it. And service tickets will be quite important. And then, of course, we have the advantage of delivering the information a buyer needs, and that the information is already in the system and digitally available.
And then just a quick follow-up, do you facilitate any of the repairs or logistics like the transport after a sale?
We support here. Usually our buyers are dealers, professional dealers of used equipment. So they trade like 200 to 400 machines each year. They usually have own logistics departments. But if there's a need, we support you and have, of course, providers.
Hello. I'm curious to know what side of the marketplace is the most complicated one to get demand and supply because it completely flips the go-to-market strategy you must have.
Exactly, very important question, I think, for marketplace. Definitely supply side for us. So if you have the machines, it's easy to get the buyers. And at the moment, we're in a market situation where there's a scarcity of new machines. So new machines cannot be delivered. Therefore, the construction companies are looking for used machines, and you have a really high demand. So supply side, definitely.
So you're competing with the demand side, which is also looking to acquire some vehicles, your future customers?
You mean by demand side, you mean end customers, like construction companies?
No, your customer, your own customer has some, is used to look for vehicles as well. So you compete with them?
So on the buying side, we have used dealers, and they use us as new sourcing channel for used machines. So you have to mention this market is still very local. So used dealers, they have their local network, also maybe their international network, but they have their personal network, and we break this up. We give them available machines from other construction companies.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I think we're at about time.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the effort. Okay, so this brings it to an end. Thank you very much to all the startups that pitched. It was a pretty cool year this time. First time that we had people outside of France. So really going European. So please, once again, a big round of applause for everyone. That was... We are going to be moving towards the drink area that you see over there. You're welcome to stay with us for pretty much as long as you want, because I'm the one that's supposed to make sure everybody's out at a certain time. So I'll be the last one out. So as long as you see me, that's fine. You can stay. Couple more things. Next week, we're going to have a series of events here and online. Within the tagline is called Building Beyond. And it's a series of events that we organize every year that touch this year between, we always do cool French things. It's like the visible and the invisible and technology and all those things coming together. So we have philosophers, scientists, engineers, architects coming to talk about a wide variety of subjects that I'm not going to delve into. But if you're curious about it and you're in the right time zone, you can connect online and you can also come here. So check out our website for that. We will also have the next 2 events of our Demo Day series. This is Demo Day Seed. We also have the Entrepreneurship Program that helps invest in and deploy solutions that come from within. Some of them, by the way, are getting spin-offs and become their own companies looking for investment afterwards. So could be of interest to you. Last event that I want to bring up is the Demo Day Catalyst. Our Catalyst program is our collaboration program with more mature companies than the one you saw today. Generally speaking, post-Series A, usually post-Series B. And what we will be showcasing are collaborations, successful collaborations. We try to focus on that between companies that were in our Catalyst programs and different Vinci entities. And the idea is to talk rather openly about the good, the bad, and the ugly of bringing that collaboration to fruition, which for investors is a very important topic for your portfolio companies. So if you want to see how we're doing it, where we're falling into pitfalls, you can join us for that as well. Everything is on the website. If you can't find it, shoot me an email. With that being said, I'm not going to hold you back longer for the wine. Some people are, no, you're having water. Okay, that's fine. That's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you to everyone online.
Also, thank you to you for organizing this and the whole Leonard team. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alex.